Lerato Madyo may not be a household name for many, but she's an integral feature in the Tembisa Hospital corruption scandal first exposed by Babita Deokaran. Let's talk about it. Lerato Madyo was the Chief Financial Officer of the Gauteng Department of Health. She's now been on suspension for nearly 6 months. How she fits into the Babita Deokaran saga and what she found at Tembisa Hospital has been set out by a News 24 investigation that has spanned more than a year. Using access to more than 60,000 Gauteng Health emails and the contents of Babita Deokaran's phone, we've been able to paint a picture of how Madyo is a central figure in terms of what she did or failed to do when Deokaran first warned her of extraction syndicates operating out of the hospital behind me. 3 weeks before Deokaran was murdered, she sent a report to Madyo via email. This report spelled out her concerns about dubious suppliers at the hospital banking millions in money that was never supposed to be steered their way. She sent this report and Madyo ignored it. We know from nearly daily WhatsApp conversations Deokaran had with Madyo that she made her concerns plain. She was worried about hundreds of illegitimate suppliers who were preying on the hospital's funds. She worried about payments which were steered to influential ANC leaders, and she also raised concerns about her safety, and she was worried that the Tembisa guys might take things further. In a WhatsApp conversation, Madyo told Deokaran that her concerns had been bumped up the chain of command. She said that she'd requested an investigation from the acting HOD. This turned out to be a lie. The acting HOD at the time, Dr. Sibongile Zungu, told News 24 that Madyo had never had this discussion with her. The only reason she knew about Babita's safety concerns was that Madyo had mentioned it to her in passing on the day of her murder. Key in this record of conversations is a discussion between Madyo and Deokaran just days before the killing. Deokaran had raised concerns about a company linked to ANC Ekurhuleni Treasurer General Sello Sikoko, who was banking millions in contracts, and Babita was worried. Madyo instructed her to pay him anyway, despite her misgivings that a company which she thought did events was scoring millions in medical supply contracts. In Deokaran's report, she called for an urgent investigation and a stop to payments. This is something that never happened. Instead, Madyo ordered a randomized compliance audit of all facilities in Gauteng. They looked at just a sample of the payments flagged by Deokaran and found that all were irregular. What's important here is that Deokaran's report and the audit report that confirms her findings were buried and no action was taken against officials. The SIU conducted a preliminary investigation and found a raft of irregularities and syndicate activity at this hospital. They placed the value of questionable payments at more than R1 billion. Madyo is now the subject of both a Hawks investigation and a probe that's been launched by the SIU. Critically, when Hawks investigators went to seize her Department of Health laptop, they also wanted her phone. It was only then that they found out that Madyo had reported her phone stolen in the beginning of last year, months before it could be analysed. This phone is of crucial evidentiary value as it sets out the conversations between Babita and Madyo in the month before she was killed. This evidence is valuable because it could exculpate Madyo or implicate her. Of particular concern, and what has been lost to the theft of this phone, is a message that Madyo sent to Deokaran on the morning that she was murdered. Just minutes after the whistleblower was riddled with bullets, Madyo tried to call her and there was no answer. Less than a minute later, she sent a WhatsApp that read, "Are you okay?" with drastic and pronounced punctuation, showing a level of concern or anxiety. We questioned Madyo on how she structured this message and also put allegations of her inaction to her across the course of our investigation, and she has not responded. Had the police acted sooner and investigated this matter in its entirety, this crucial evidence, Madyo's cell phone, would not have been lost.